If you ask his colleagues to describe him in a few words, they would describe him as unique, man of principles and integrity, intellectual, a great mentor and a strong leader. It could be practically hard to find all the earlier mentioned attributes in one single person. But our guest today is all of that and more. With over 20 years of experience in business development, this man has inspired and helped many businesses reach great heights of success. Continuing to do the same for Literacy Planet is Mr. Adam McArthur, CEO of Literacy Planet and our very special guest today. Hello and welcome to the Australian Educational Times. You've had many roles including a consultant, a business development manager, a strategy director and a CEO to name a few. Tell us about your journey.
Thanks for that intro, that was fantastic. I think my career journey really started out, I wanted to work in travel. But as I went through university and had this great opportunity after university is to work for a building materials company, which is something that I hadn't actually thought I would do to start with. And I was very lucky in that business to have a mentor who just said, say yes to everything. And so throughout my career, it's been one of those things that I've always done. And when I first started at work, I said yes to everything, and I ended up travelling the world and living in South America. And while I never thought I'd work in the building industry, it gave me these great opportunities. And it's been something that I've taken all the way through my career of just trying new opportunities. And I think it's something, as I look through all the probably 5 key roles that I've had, it's always been about doing something new. So I went from a building materials company into a technology startup company that was working with automotive and aerospace industries, and then came back to Australia after living in Chicago for a while to get into online business. And this is something I could see, that shift to online. I didn't really have any experience in it, and I just ended up talking to lots of people and ended up working for News Corp in a ticketing business there. And so it's always, again, it's been a new company trying to grow into a new market. And that's certainly where I see myself in Literacy Planet now. It's a new industry that I haven't had experience in the education space, but I'm loving it so far. And it's trying to develop and grow this business into being a great education business.
How do you feel your educational background has helped your career?
I think the key thing about my education background is I had to change schools a lot of times. So I had 4 different schools through my life, which at the time I thought was pretty hard. And I kind of talked to my parents and didn't want to change schools. But I look at it now and it's something that made me very adaptable. I had to make new friends and learn some new things about those schools. And I think that's set me up to be able to change the industries that I've worked in, lots of different industries and different companies, and I think that's given me the confidence to be able to do that as well. Because I think I see a lot of my friends have stayed in one industry and they would love to change, but they just feel like they can't. I never had that feeling because I had to do it from an early age. Even I remember one time when my parents said I was changing schools because we were moving from Melbourne to Sydney, and I cried. I didn't want to change. I had all my friends there, but I think it has set me up to be able to get to this point in my career where I can work. I feel like I can work in any industry.
We see you've worked for News Corp Australia, Fairfax Media and are now the CEO of Literacy Planet. Has writing and literature always been a passion for you?
It's certainly been really important, I think, all the way through my career and learning languages as well. But I think the key part of it is this education part of it. I'm really passionate about education, and I did one of the roles I had at Fairfax was to look at developing an education business for them. And so that was close to 10 years ago, and it's taken me now almost 10 years to get into the education space. But certainly, I'm very passionate about education and seeing, and through that business with Fairfax, I learned that Australian education businesses are also really well respected on a global basis, and me having a lot of international experience was really important to find an Australian company that was going to be well respected globally.
What do you love most about being a CEO of Literacy Planet?
I think there's a couple of things I love most about it. Certainly it's in the education market, and as I talked before, it's something that I'm really passionate about. So it's, to having a great Australian business in the education market. I think, I've always worked for Australian businesses. I've had opportunities to work for international ones, but I think, I really love working for Australian businesses. I think the other thing is it's really about making a difference. It's not selling some other product or something like that. It's about making a difference to people's lives. And for me, now got 2 kids, so, my approach has changed, and I now see the value of education and really want to be involved in that. And I think the other thing I like about Literacy Planet is that the great feedback we get from our customers. We've got the teachers and parents and students just love what we do, and so it's fantastic to be working in a business where people love the product that you have.
Working overseas in places like Asia, USA, and Latin America have helped you gain invaluable overseas experience. Is this very important in today's world?
I think it is. I think it's with the growth of the internet, is that it's now much more portal as well. So we can communicate with people easily, we can travel easily, we can buy things from different countries, and I think it's really important. And my advice to anyone growing up, if you've got an opportunity to do something overseas, whether that's to travel or to work or to study, then I would take it. But what it really does, it makes you adaptable and makes you learn quickly, and you've got to understand people. And I think learning about all these different cultures, and I look even at the people in Literacy Planet, there's probably 6 different nationalities that we have. It's helped me as a manager understand people better, and helped me become a good manager too.
Success means different things to different people. What is your definition of success?
I think this is one I had to think a lot about, because there's lots of different things that came to my mind when I saw that question. And I think for me it's about making a difference. And I think this is making a difference to yourself and those people you care about. And I think that's where I look at what are those things I can do to support my family and help my family out, but also make me feel happy and comfortable about what I'm doing. And I think that's something I've taken all the way through my career, is that I want to do something that I'm making a difference. And I think if I look back on my work career, if I'm successful, I have made a difference and I've supported my family as well.
How important is hard work versus luck in becoming successful?
I think this is one thing I always hear my father's voice in my head with this question, and he was always saying that you make your own luck. And I think that's something I've believed all the way through, and I think you need hard work, and I think as Australians, we've got a great work ethic. And I think by doing that and trying things, and I think this is when I talked about earlier in my career, I just said yes to everything. And that opened up all these opportunities. But it's not only just hard work, I think you also got to have a plan. You've got to know what you're doing. And I've had the great fortune of having good mentors who helped me through that early stage of my career and gave me opportunities through this, but I always took them as well. And so I think you put yourself in a position to have luck, but it's all comes from hard work, and I think my father's words still stay with me today.
What have been some of your biggest failures and how have you learned from them?
Well, I've had many of these. I think because I've always been a person to take a bit of risk and be confident in myself that I'd be able to succeed. But I think one that I kind of draw on a lot is when I was working in a startup just after I'd left the building company, and we were trying to list it on the stock exchange and make it a big global business. And as we thought we had a really good opportunity, but no one else believed it. And we'd go and present to people, and everyone would just say, no, it's not ready, or we don't believe what you're doing. And so while we failed at that time, what we did is we kept persevering. And we kept persevering and winning a few more customers and developing the product and talking to people. And after 2 years, we tried again, and we've been very successful. And so I think from that, I think it's just like, don't give up. And it's a bit of belief in yourself as well, where the easiest thing to do at that time would have been, yes, people have been telling us it's not right, so let's go and do something else. But we didn't, we kept going. And then it turned into a really successful business that continues today.
What is the future of technology in education? How will it impact children's learning?
I think the future of technology in education is bright. I think we're just starting the journey in a lot of ways. And for me, working in lots of different industries, I've seen how it's improved and developed and changed those different industries. But I think with education, it gives us a great opportunity to make it more fun and engaging. And I think this is certainly one of the things we're trying to do at Literacy Planet. We use all these technologies and tools from other industries and apply them to education to make it fun and engaging. Because I think the second part of that question of how it will impact children, I think if you make education fun and engaging, children will learn more and be more willing to learn, especially. And so I think that's going to be one of those big changes as we start using all these different devices. The ability to change the content, make it engaging, and really take kids on that journey is going to be really important.
You must have very busy days. Can you give us some advice on how to manage our time?
I think this is something, some days I think I do this very well, and a lot of days I feel I could do it a lot better. But I think the thing for me is what I try to do is at the start of each day is work out what are the important things I need to get done that day, and try to do those things first. Because it's very easy to get caught up with meetings and emails and doing all those things and the day goes past. But I always try at the start of the day to spend at least 5 minutes just working out what I need to do and those important things. And I know that if I've done those things today, then I've had a good day. And so at the end of each day, I also wrap it up to try and say, well, what did I get done and what can I do tomorrow? And also I try to plan in each week is some time just to think about the business and not get caught up with meetings and emails. And so I think my advice is to always just take some time out and to think about and work out what's important for the day, and the week and the month and all those things, and try to do those things first rather than be caught up in being really busy.
It was great meeting you. We would like to thank you on behalf of the Australian Education Time for your time today. Thank you.
Great, thank you. It was a great interview.